WWE reveals the largest PC class recruits to date. Thea Trinidad, formerly known as Zelina Vega, reveals her new look on Twitter, and WWE commentators predict Brock Lesnar could face a Raw superstar at WrestleMania 37. Hello everyone, Jose G here bringing you today's top stories in today's SK Wrestling News Roundup. Cesaro reveals whom he wants to face at WrestleMania 37. SmackDown superstar Cesaro has revealed whom he would like to face at this year's WrestleMania. The former United States champion said that he would like to have a singles match at the Show of Shows and listed a few names. Cesaro has had some momentum going for him in recent weeks, and Eva put out a good showing at Elimination Chamber. The multi-time tag team champion has predominantly been a tag team wrestler over the last few years, but has been given a singles opportunities recently. On the After the Bell podcast, Corey Graves asked Cesaro whom he would like to face at WrestleMania 37. Cesaro said there could be a match with Seth Rollins, Big E, Sheamus, or Shinsuke Nakamura, to name a few, for WrestleMania. Saying, quote, "So to me, I would love to. A singles match at WrestleMania would mean a really lot to me. Here's the thing, though the locker room is full of people that I would love to have a match with, the thing is to have a match people are invested in. Me and Seth Rollins started doing something on SmackDown, so maybe there's something there. I always have my back pocket in the best of 7 between me and Sheamus. That hasn't been decided. That's the one that will be out there. You know, for example, Big E for the IC title, Shinsuke, a bunch. Roman is spoken for. Oh, Miz, he's defending against Bobby Lashley. We have to wait and see what happens there. So to me, I would love to have a singles match at WrestleMania and have a good build-up and story. I feel this year, it's a big possibility." End quote. New WWE recruits comment on joining the Performance Center. This week, a list of recruits was reported as a part of the latest WWE Performance Center class. WWE officially confirmed the news, and some of the recruits have taken to social media to express their excitement. Parker Boudreaux has recently received a lot of attention on social media for drawing comparisons to Brock Lesnar. He even interacted with Paul Heyman, promoting him as the new next big thing. Former Impact Wrestling Knockouts champion and the wife of WWE Raw superstar John Morrison, Taya Valkyrie, had a much more grounded approach. Kira Magnan Forster, known to wrestling fans as Taya Valkyrie, is an 11-year veteran of the Squared Circle. A classically trained ballerina, Forster learned wrestling under Lance Storm before breaking out in Mexico for the AAA promotion. She has competed around the world since. Other recruits in Cora Jade, Cameron Burnett, and Anthony Henry also took to Twitter to share their excitement. This is easily one of the biggest classes WWE has had in quite some time. Kyle O'Reilly reacts to Adam Cole's apology on WWE NXT. Following 2 weeks of attacks on both NXT champion Finn Balor and Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole has had some serious explaining to do on this week's episode of NXT. Following what seemed to be a sincere, tearful apology, Cole put the final touches on the Undisputed Era's demise. Cole not only low-blowed Roderick Strong, but finished him off with a super kick to the head. Well, Kyle O'Reilly watched the whole thing and had a pretty direct response to everything that happened. At the end of NXT TakeOver Vengeance Day, Finn Balor defeated a very game Pete Dunne to retain his NXT championship. Following the match, NXT Tag Team Champions Johnny Lorcan and Danny Burch raced out to attack them. Cole and O'Reilly and Roderick Strong ran out to even out the odds and chased them off. However, as the four men stood triumphant in the ring, Cole laid out Balor with a super kick, followed by 1-2 O'Reilly. The following week, O'Reilly, Strong, and Balor would take on the team of Burch, Lorcan, and Dunn. Cole would come out once again and attack both the champion and Kyle O'Reilly. With the Undisputed Era seemingly done, we'll have to wait until next week to see the fallout. Free agent Thea Trinidad, formerly known as Zelina Vega, reveals her new look. Thea Trinidad, formerly known as Zelina Vega, was released from WWE in November of 2020. The fans were justifiably shocked as the development with Trinidad was considerable ones of Vince McMahon favorites and a future star of the WWE Women's Division. However, WWE's third-party edict and Trinidad reported breach of contract spelled the end of her stint with the company. Trinidad's 90-day non-compete clause expired recently, and the former WWE star is yet to decide her in-ring future. Trinidad, however, continues to be an active personality and influencer on social media and on Twitch. The former NXT superstar took to Twitter recently and showed off her new look. Vega now has red hair, and her tweet was also accompanied by a message for her Twitch followers. As noted earlier on Fightful Select, Thea Trinidad's 90-day non-compete clause expired on February 11th, which means she is now a free agent. Trinidad dropped a big teaser last Wednesday on Twitter by hinting at the possibility of showing up on AEW Dynamite. Trinidad didn't appear, but her social media activity points towards something brewing behind the scenes. WWE commentators predict Brock Lesnar could face Raw superstar at WrestleMania 37. Commentators Corey Graves and Vic Joseph have stated that there is a possibility of Brock Lesnar returning to WWE to face Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania 37. Bobby Lashley will get a chance to win the WWE Championship on next week's episode of Raw, as he is set to face The Miz for the title. On this week's After the Bell podcast, Corey Graves and Vic Josephs were asked if they back the idea of Bobby Lashley becoming WWE Champion. Graves said he is within the idea of Lashley earning a world title and eventually becoming champion. They were then asked whom Bobby Lashley should face at WrestleMania 37, to which both of them said Brock Lesnar. Vic Joseph says, "I think there's an obvious answer that's out floating there, but I'm not going to give that obvious answer." Corey Graves says, I am Brock Lesnar, mimicking Paul Heyman. Vic Joseph then explained how the match between Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar could go down at WrestleMania 37, saying, quote, "Well, there you have it. That's the one guy. That's the marquee. That's the name. That's something that has been teased," would you say, Graves, for years? Definitely Bobby's, since coming back, even before he came back to WWE, it has so much potential. It draws. And that's the case again if you're looking across two guys that you know physically would beat if you were out in a bar and did something, and they now know going to lock horns. It's going to be a masterpiece. It's not going to be 30 minutes. It's going to be two pit bulls in the ring. It's going to be two guys going at it. It's going to be a human demolition derby. It's going to be great and keep you glued to your television." End quote. A match between Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar, two supremely gifted fighters, has been in the works for years. Lashley has spoken about his desire to face the Beast on multiple occasions in the past. Brock Lesnar is currently not signed with WWE, as his contract with the company expired last year. Thanks for watching today's SK Wrestling News Roundup. For more news stories, be sure to follow us on all social media. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Download the Sportskeeda app for the most up-to-date stories in the world of wrestling.